Do you know that bit in Left Outside Alone? You know Anastasia, and she's like, I wonder if you know. That lives in my head rent free. Right, lads, it's time we have a chat. Now, I've been umming and ahhing about what to say or if to say anything and how much to share. But I think in the interest of transparency, obviously I've been gone for a few months, which isn't unlike me, but I've just not been having a good time. And one of the reasons that I've been gone in the past for certain periods is because there's been a lot of things in my life that aren't resolved. There's been a lot of background, a lot of origin story going on, And there's been things that I've been trying to deal with, things that I haven't dealt with, and things that tend to rear their ugly head. And the past few months have been, to say they've been difficult would be generous. They've been torture. They've been awful. And I just think in the interest of transparency, I'll tell you a sprinkling. Like, you're not my CPN, I'm not going to overshare to that extent, but I'll give you a basic idea. Basically, a lot of things have happened. Not only, in the past 20 odd years, but the past few months have been very difficult. And so I found myself in a position where I had to take a step back and just focus on the basics, focus on myself and focus on survival without sounding too dramatic. So that's why I've not been on YouTube. It's been a very difficult time for me. Yeah, I took time off work. Everything went back to basics. I literally basics. I took time off work. I'm now back at work, thankfully. And I just had to prioritise myself, prioritise my mental health. And yeah, so basically I've spent a good few months in a deep hole. And it's one of those situations where it's not going to get resolved, but, you need to claw your way out of that hole. It's like a bottomless pit. I felt like I was falling, spiralling into this bottomless pit and I couldn't get out. And so I've spent a few months feeling sorry for myself. I've took time away from work. I've gone back to basics. And now I'm in a position where it's not going to be resolved. It's never going to, be fully healed. But I can't sit here and mope and waste my life. I need to get back on the saddle, get back on the horse and crack on. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't be, honest to God, I've seen people who are in their 60s and their whole life has been lost to trauma. And they've found themselves in this deep hole and they've never been able to claw the way out of it. And it's difficult and it is quite frustrating because in situations like this, stuff happens that you're not responsible for. It wasn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to try and claw your way out of it, to try and heal yourself. And that's not fair. And I think the past few months I've been trying to come to terms with the fact that life isn't fair. And I know I've mentioned God's plan in videos before, but no, that's not a bit of me anymore. Any faith I had in a higher power or God or, God's plan, no, that's away. Because I'm not going to lie, I gave God a chance. I gave God the benefit of the doubt. And I do understand that it's nice to feel that there's a higher power watching over you, but if there is a God, then he's a right something. God ain't here to save me. That's been established. That's been made crystal the past few months. Do you know what I mean? I can't rely on a higher power. And although I see a difficult time for me in the coming months and, whatever, I now am ready to get back on my feet and I just have to keep going. Because I can't be lost to trauma. I can't. Because it doesn't matter. It is difficult, but because it's not your fault. But somehow, some way, it's on you to resolve it. Yeah, so that's basically just a little snippet. I said I wasn't going to overshare, and I've quite overshared. For God's sake, right, overshared. But anyway, so bottom line is, past few months been awful. To be honest, there's been quite a few years that have been very difficult. And I'm likely to still experience difficulties in the future. But what am I going to do? I can't, do you know what I mean? Because it does feel like you can sit and feel sorry for yourself forever. And trust me, I can. And I will. But I need to get back at it. So which is why I've started making videos again. I'm back at work and I wouldn't say healing, but I'm doing more than just the bare minimum. I'm getting back on my feet, and you know, obviously some people never heal, but like, it's a long process. It is a very long process, but I'm getting back on my feet, and what the past few months has taught me is what is important to me. And family is one thing. Like, my family came up to support me. My dad came up for a few weeks, and then they like took it in turns, and that was really, really helpful. And it has made me realise how much I miss being home. Because obviously I live like 400 miles away. I'm in Scotland, by the way. I'm obviously not Scottish. Just saying. So I'm in Scotland. I've been in Scotland for the past 9 years, maybe, something like that. And I do miss being home. And so what the past few months has taught me is who's around me, who my support system is, and also the importance of family. And I do think when I'm back on my feet and when I'm stable and when I'm in a position to move, I think I probably will move back home, or at least closer to my family. Because, it's been rough, lads. It's been unforgiving. You ain't coming here getting redemption. You ain't coming here getting nothing. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, just to give you an idea, without prolonging this too much or going into too many details, some of my like most played songs recently have been Anastasia, Left Outside Alone, Foreigner, I Want to Know What Love Is, Anastasia, Sick and Tired. She does feature a lot in this, Anastasia. And my dad's actually got me tickets to see her, so I'm buzzing for that. But anyway, Billy Idol, Bitter Taste, Anastasia, Paid My Dues. Need I go on? Like, honestly, there's been times in the past few months I've literally just been lying on the gym floor, staring at the ceiling, like blasting Anastasia, Left Outside Alone. Like, just forlorn, feeling sorry for myself. Like, no, I'm not here to work out. I'm here to stare at the ceiling with tears in my eyes and blast Anastasia, thank you. And yes, we all pay the same gym membership. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to say on that. Probably said too much, but it is what it is and it was what it was. And that is the brutal reality, guys. So anyway, enough about me. I know that a lot of people have been asking about my weight, about Mounjaro, maintenance and all of that. So I'm currently on 15 milligrams of Mounjaro. I've had an absolute, honest to God, talk about getting kicked when you're down, right? You know when you're already up to here and things keep happening? So this was one of them. So basically on the 18th of August, I ordered a 15 milligram Mounjaro pen from Formulus, right? No bother. But it didn't arrive. And I was like, right. And so I contacted Formulus. I was like, excuse me, like, my pen's not come. My pen is nae here. It's not, because I got it delivered to the local post office. I went to the post office 3 days in a row and they're telling me they've got no record of it. And I'm like, well, it was 24-hour track Royal Mail. Like, how can this be possible? And then, so you go on the tracking and Royal Mail says that the post office basically refused to accept it. And I've had my Mounjaro delivered to the post office multiple times with no issues. So that seemed a bit strange to me. So I was like, well, what do you mean? And so basically I did extensive Googling. I was on the phone on hold for half an hour to Royal Mail before I could get through. Chatted with them. They were like, listen, like, we've got this, you know, the way it works, you go to Formulus, they replace the pen and then they get compensation back from us. That's the way it worked. And I Googled it, and like with Royal Mail Track 24, which is what the Mounjaro pen was meant to be delivered by, it's only the sender, so it's only Formulus that can claim compensation back from Royal Mail. I can't do that. And so I contacted Formulus multiple times, might I say. I understand that everyone is busy at the moment, but the customer service was slow, very slow. Multiple emails I sent. And then I also tried to ring the number, like the customer service number, a few times and nobody answered. And then they turned around and said to me, oh, it's not our problem. they were like, we're not going to give you a refund or a replacement. And I was like, you know, when you're just like, oh, and do you know what they said? Very kindly, they said, oh, but you can order a new pen at the new price. So not only are they trying to tell me that I've lost 180 quid, but they're also trying to charge me 275 for a new pen when my old pen, and I provided evidence, Your Honour. I provided the tracking history that says item not delivered to the post office, item returned to sender, and it says that it has been returned to the sender. And, you know, in the multiple emails that I sent them, they were like, not our problem, Shug. And I didn't want to have to do this, right? Because you don't want to be a Karen, but I don't think I am Karening. Because I'm not being funny. My situation at the moment, 180 quid's a lot of money. I physically can't afford to not only lose 180 quid, but also have to pay another 275 or whatever it is. So I was literally like, I was already at quite a low point. And then this happened. And you know when you're just like, deep breaths, like, you know, breathe in, count to 4, but like, I was like, I can't do this. And so I didn't want to have to do this, but I spoke to Citizens Advice. And I emailed Formulus back and I was like, well, under the, what is it even called? Like the Consumer Rights Act 2015, it is your responsibility, blah, blah, blah. So basically, they've now said that they're going to chat to Royal Mail about it and that they might be able to offer me a refund or replacement. But at the end of the day, I want the pen that I paid 180 quid for on the 18th of August. It's now been nearly a month. And the amount of times I've tried to reach out to them, and I'm really disappointed because, as you'll know, since I started using Formulus, I've been singing the praises, singing hymns or whatever it is. I've been recommending them to everyone, being like, they're really good, they're really good. And this has really let me down, I think, and really disappointed me. And obviously it's not come at a great time. So, like, I don't know, I'll give them a chance, like, but also it's been nearly a month. I don't know. You know when you're up to here and things keep happening? The cat's got worms. They're indoor cats. So I must have trod something in, so it's my fault, basically. But, like, honestly, you know when things keep happening, you're like, this is what I mean about God's plan, where is it? Unless God, you know what I mean? Anyway. So, yeah, so I'm currently on 15 milligrams. Don't know if I'm going to get another pen. I'm scared that Formulus are going to, like, kick me out and bar me because I've been, like, Consumer Rights Act. But also, like, please just give me my pen. I cannot afford you to not give me this pen. And, like, it shouldn't take a month to get this resolved when I've been trying to contact you so many times. So I'm going to give them, what day is it today? Monday. I'm going to give them till Friday and see what they come back with. But, yeah, I'm not impressed. And it's just like, yeah, life's been taking the pee. So I am on 15 milligrams. Given the price increase, I am probably going to try and titrate down. I see a lot of people, like, asking, like, oh, what are you eating on me? No. Like, I'm eating what I want. Some days I count calories. Some days I don't count calories. Some days I have a kebab. Some days I have a few protein yogurts and healthy snacks. Although I think I will, basically I've got 2 videos lined up for you that are ready to go. I mentioned this in one of them. I'm folate deficient. I had my bloods done recently and I didn't even realise that they were checking for folate. It was low. So now I'm on folic acid for 3 months and then I need to get it rechecked. So this is what I mean. This is why I don't do what I eat in a days, because you do not want to follow my example. I'm folate deficient. So yeah, I was going to include it in this video, but I'm going to do another video on loose skin, body image, sex drive. It'd be interesting to know. Basically, I've been out of the dating scene or sex scene or whatever you want to call it for quite a while now due to other reasons. But I do think that, so I've not really noticed it as much as or been thinking about it, but I do think that since I started on Mounjaro, my libido, whatever you want to call it, my sex drive has decreased. But I don't know if that's because I'm, you know what I mean, I'm actively avoiding all of that. So I don't know if that's something to do with it. But I did see a few people, I have noticed online, a few people saying, oh, my sex drive's gone. So it will be interesting to know what you guys feel. If you feel comfortable sharing that. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely no. It's your prerogative. So yeah, I was going to include it in this video, but I feel, in fact, this has been a bit of a Debbie Downer, I'm not going to lie. I promise my next videos, I'm planning on uploading a video tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and then Wednesday. And then I'm going to do one on like loose skin, body image, and show you all my loose skin and everything then. So yeah, so like I don't have a clear maintenance plan. I eat what I want. I count calories when I want. I mean, I'm folate deficient, guys. I'm folate deficient. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm nobody's hero. I'm nobody's saint. I'm not a martyr. I'm not somebody that you should look up to. But to be fair, I've always made that clear from day one. Like, folate deficient. And I'm not... And I saw my blood results. It wasn't a little bit deficient, I'll tell you that. There was no folate in sight. There is no folate in sight. Who is she? Folate's gone missing. Folate's gone missing. There's an alert out. Has anyone seen folate? Because she ain't in my body. So anyway, I'm hoping this wasn't too negative, but I just thought I'd give you a little update because I have been gone for 2-3 months, and just to let you know. But in fairness, right, it's like my dad said, because when my dad was up, I heard him on a work call. I'm assuming he was talking about a business deal or something, but he was like, you've got to go there to come back. And I really like that. I was like, wow, that's like gospel. Like, Dad, where'd you get that from? And so I've got it inscribed on my necklace. You've got to go there to come back. And that's what I believe in. Instead of a higher power, this and that, you've got to go there to come back, lads. And so I've been there, and now I'm trying to claw my way back. You will see more of me in the coming weeks. I have already got 2 videos done and dusted. So you'll at least get 2 more before I disappear again. Yeah, you got to go there to come back, lads. Do you know that bit in Left Outside Alone? You know Anastasia, and she's like, I said, I wonder if you know. That lives in my head rent free. I said, I wonder if you know how it feels to be left outside alone. Honestly, that is a karaoke tune, that. But anyway, I'll stop embarrassing myself. I'll stop oversharing. I love you lots. And Tuesday, Wednesday at least should have a video for me before I go MIA. But yeah. Also, sorry if you knew this was not a good introductory video for you. Love you guys. See you later.